All right, well, we made it to World 2 here. Oh, can I see them in advance? Oh, no, I can't there. All right, now I have to do things in order here. We're in Donkey Kong Jungle. But yeah, let's see here. So I guess the equivalent there in the States is 50. This was 65 here in Canada, and it's 50 in the States. Makes sense then, I guess. So $10 cheaper in the States, $15 cheaper here for like currency differences and stuff. So yeah, I guess 50 bucks USD then. But yeah, Mario's been doing pretty good. Actually beat Sonic 3 and Knuckles for the first time. Nice. All because no one in the second half of the game is... Wait, all because one level. I don't know why I read that as no one. Is utter trash. Wait, because one level in the second half of the game is utter trash in a game of 9 perfect level design. Oh, one of just some particular troubles then. Whoops. What? Wait. I feel like I'm playing Donkey Kong Jr. out here. I don't think I've actually played Donkey Kong Jr. before. Yeah, let's see here. Yeah, it's almost full price. It's cheaper than full price, but not by a lot. Whoa. Ow. But yeah, it's a very Nintendo kind of move to do. Should be like 20. Yeah, I mean, depending on how long is... I mean, I looked up how long to beat the original game, since that should be about the length of this game, and apparently it's around 5 hours. So I know that this shouldn't be like a major commitment to my game schedule. I don't think I'll have to add it to the stream schedule in Discord or anything, because this might just be a one-off stream. This might be the only stream that I do of this. Just go all the way through right now. So it's not super long. And yeah, this does seem like the kind of thing that would be like a $20 for fun kind of game that you can pick up as like a digital only kind of thing. Or some people that really want it can get like a physical copy if they want. But the kind of thing that's just like a cheap digital thing. Or maybe bundled in as like a, like if you buy Super Mario Bros. Wonder, then here's a download code for this game or something like that. That comes in the case. Or some sort of, or something that they could use as a promotional thing where it's like, oh, if you buy Mario Wonder during these dates, you'll get Mario vs. Donkey Kong bundled in, or something like that. This seems like the kind of thing that this game would fit well for, is like a bonus onto other things, or just like a $20, $25 side game kind of thing, that someone that has like a little bit of money on the side and wants like a puzzle game that they can get into can do that. But yeah, for a 5-hour Mario puzzle game here, remake for nearly full price, that's only like 5 hours long apparently, it's like, yeah, there's some really good puzzle games you can get out there for that price, for cheaper than that price. There would be some really good puzzle games out there. But yeah, this is but yeah, very much Nintendo move there, I guess. But yeah, let's see here. I got all the gifts and stuff. But yeah, now they finally beat it. If you were forced to give Sonic 3 and Knuckles a number rating, low 9 out of 10. That's pretty good there. But yeah, it's 45 when converted from CAD, but 50 for how much it's sold here. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense in terms of, like, how much is taken off here, so it makes sense for about that much to be taken off in the States. Oh, now I can do all the other things. I'll just do it in order this time, I guess. But yeah, that is pretty pricey. The sequel was DSiWare. This remake is incredibly overpriced. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm feeling here. And that's kind of what I've been feeling with Skull and Bones as well. Can I not, like... What? Oh, do I have to, like... I gotcha. I mean, who knows? Maybe going through it here will convince me and everyone tuning into the stream, like, right now, like, holy crap, this is like the best game ever. I would gladly give all my life savings to buy this game. This is amazing. Wow, this is better than sliced bread. You know, yeah, it kind of is. I still haven't gotten super far into it, but whoops. So like maybe my judgment is a little bit early, but it's a full-priced game. If you go to the store page, it shows you the premium edition first rather than the standard edition. So standard edition is $80 and the premium edition is $120. And the perks of the premium edition are like, you get 2 extra missions, you get a free like pass of the premium pass for their battle pass that they're gonna be doing in the coming seasons. Like you get 1 free premium pass token. I don't actually remember what else there is. That might be it. No, it was like digital soundtrack and art book and stuff like that. Yeah. Yeah. There's a deluxe edition and a battle pass and an in-game shop. So the currency that you acquire by playing the game is silver. And the currency that you get by spending real world money is gold. And there's a lot of items that you can only get with gold. And there's a lot of them that are FOMO. There's fear of missing out things. Considering I booted up the game when it came out, like, today still. And there's things where it's like, this item is only available for the next 3 days and 18 hours. And it's like, really? Really? There was a good handful of items that were available for the next 3 days and a good handful of items that were available for the next 10 days. So there's things like a cat pet that you can have on your ship, for example. And it's like, if you want this cat with the eye patch as a pet on your ship, you better spend real world money in the next 3 days here. And the highest bundle of gold that you can get at once is the same as the full price game, $80. And it's like, wow. There is at least no microtransactions that give you a competitive advantage in that multiplayer game. They made sure to steer away from that, so it's not pay to win. I will give it that it's not at all pay to win, but it is still insanely over monetized. And they've already announced like what the first 4 seasons are gonna be. So I don't think there's really any story content in it. There's not really anything to do a proper playthrough of per se. So my playthrough is just gonna be however long I feel like playing it, I guess. And as long as I feel like, once I get to the point that I feel like I've properly showcased a whole lot of it, then I'm quitting, I'm done. But the actual stories going on are apparently the plot lines of these characters that you're going to need to face for the first 4 seasons and stuff like that. With the first one, I believe it was mentioned, is going to be starting in March. Something or other there. But yeah, have you seen the quote from Ubisoft calling it a quadruple A game? No, but I had someone come into my stream the other day when I was streaming Skull and Bones and ask me how the quadruple A game was, and I didn't know what they meant. Is that what they were referring to then? Is the fact that Ubisoft called it a quadruple A game? Because I mean, honestly, I think that might be a fair assessment when you consider how many studios worked on it, how many different Ubisoft studios worked on it. That doesn't mean that it's good. But, like, just in terms of how much went into it, considering it was in development hell for the past 10 years, and they had to get a lot of Ubisoft studios working on it. Like, for example, let's look at my channel here for Thingamabob. Let's see here. If I turn on display capture, anyone that scrolls down to like the bottom part of a description on any one of my playthroughs will see like I have all this data at the bottom where it's like, here's the game, like difficulty or route, if there is that info there, any other information about what platform it's on, if that's important, so people know like what specific Citra version I'm using there, when it's released, the developer and the publisher. I always have the developer and the publisher at the bottom. Want to see what it is for Skull and Bones? Developers: Ubisoft Singapore, Ubisoft Belgrade, Ubisoft Berlin, Ubisoft Chengdu, Ubisoft Kiev, Ubisoft Montreal, Ubisoft Mumbai, Ubisoft Paris, Ubisoft Philippines, Ubisoft Pune, Ubisoft Shanghai. Publisher Ubisoft. This is the longest I have ever had one of these be in my, I was about to say like over half a decade of content creation, but I haven't been doing this at the bottom. I've been doing this for like 3 years or something like that for you to be able to see info. So like, yeah, it really was. It was a game of hot potato. So honestly, if they're calling it a quadruple A game, I'll honestly agree with them, considering this. Like, I don't think quadruple A means that it's good per se, that means that it's just like a new high level of quality. But I would say that it's more of like a new high level of an insane amount of work that they put into it. It doesn't mean that that work was well spent. It was insanely mismanaged. That's why it was in development hell for so long. The management of this game went together very poorly. But in terms of like how many Ubisoft studios were working on it, yeah, I'll agree, honestly. It is a quadruple A game, I'll say. It's the one instance I've seen of a quadruple A game. I'll agree with it. That's, yeah, I'll agree there. But yeah, let's see here. A reason why you'll just stick to your Nintendo Switch and only consider a PC for like 4 games, worry about things like that. Wait, that was a response to Mortis's thing. Wait, I'll get more context if I see what it is. They gave this game a deluxe edition, yeah, and gave it a battle pass. Yeah, they did. you can't see the battle pass info yet since the first season hasn't started. Doesn't start until like March. I think someone was mentioning in stream before, but yeah, there'll be battle passes. But yeah, let's see here. And Ubisoft CEO is the one that called it quadruple A then. But yep, and yet you see Palworld has a better game. But yeah, it's yeah, that game actually has a lot of cool things going for it there. But yeah, first quadruple A, and Dark Deity is better. I'm looking forward to Dark Deity too. That should be fun. But yeah, triple A is false impression of quality. Same with quadruple A. Yeah, honestly, of course there's a preseason. There's no real awards with it. So, I mean, if preseason means I mean, I hear preseason, I think like, oh, here's a little bit of mini things before the first season, which I guess there technically is, because there's like time-limited real-life paid content of customizable things that you have to buy like in the next 3 days for some things and the next 10 days for other things, or else you've missed your opportunity for it forever. So I mean, there's that. And then at some point later, they're rolling out the first season. So yeah, it's a full-priced game that really tries to push you towards getting the premium edition, considering it's the default thing on the store page. It has battle passes. It's a live service game. It what else was there? Microtransactions up the yin yang with a bazillion customizable items. When I was going through like my character customization, it seemed like it was just a small fraction of things there that were real world paid for compared to things that you could get with in-game currency. But when I was going to my ship customization, most of the things that were available for me there were things that I would have to pay real world money for. I assume that maybe I'd unlock more options by playing or something like that, maybe, but still. You could just play Skyrim again instead of Skull and Bones and have more content? Yeah, probably. But I mean, Skyrim also does have a lot of content. It is always fun to meme on how much Skyrim has constantly been resold, but it actually does have a lot of content. There is a lot in that game. But yeah, there's a news that Xbox game is going to come to the Switch thanks to low sale. Really hoping Hi-Fi Rush comes to the Switch. Interesting. And stand, you're protected from falling objects. Yes, because that's how handstands work. Something or other here. But yeah, rather spend $200 plus, you'd probably, rather spend the $200 plus, you would probably spend it on mid-game, just getting a cult classic, really good DS game, or even the DS console itself. Yeah, and honestly, something that I think I'm gonna do, like, after graduation and after I get back from my little trip to Texas and Louisiana, is I land when it's warmer outside and not the middle of winter, is I found out that there are, like, a few stores in my city that do sell classic games. I'm just gonna spend like a day going to different stores and seeing what kind of cool classic games that I can find. Because I used to sell games when I was done with them as a kid, which I very highly regret. Nowadays, I consider myself a game collector as much as a game player, which is why I also don't mind getting games like this and trying them out and adding them to the shelf and being like, yep, that was a thing that was done once and I own it and can pop it in whenever I want. Stuff to see what that was like. So I like collecting games and stuff. I got Metroid Prime 1 and 2 for a not half bad price recently at a Fan Expo, I believe it was, and Kingdom Hearts 1 on the PS2. Usually at things like Fan Expo, they're insanely marked up, but I actually got them for good prices there. So I like finding good deals for classic games where I can. I got Kingdom Hearts 1 for 20 bucks. I got Metroid Prime 1 and 2 together for 60 bucks. I was like, that's pretty good for Metroid Prime. They were selling the Metroid Prime trilogy for 200 bucks, and I was like, nope. Not happening. But yeah, maybe sometime after I've graduated, I'll just take a day to just go on a little classic game hunt adventure around my city. I think that'd be fun. Maybe I can get a Game Boy Color game or two. A few months back, got a Game Boy Color from a garage sale for like 20 bucks. It just didn't have a battery back plate, so I 3D printed one. And now it has a battery back plate. I just don't have any games for it. And I was looking on some of the sites for these places around the city. One had Pokemon Crystal. It was like 200 bucks. But that's like one of the ultimate games to have on your Game Boy Color. And part of me would be tempted. And imagine I'm like bored on the train or something like that going to and from. Well, I guess I'd be through with university at that point. But if I'm just like somewhere out and about, like, and I'll probably still take public transit for other things in the future. Like, if I'm just on the train, just pull out the Game Boy Color and play Pokemon Crystal. I'd probably get a lot of attention from people doing something like that, and some people that would think it'd be the coolest thing, right? Wouldn't that be so awesome? So yeah, I might go on a classic game hunt, because I think that's cool to be able to pay money for a game and then you have that full game and you have that experience, even if it's a little bit more expensive because it's a classic, but then you also have like this really cool, really awesome classic game that had like such influence in the industry. So I could see myself getting a copy of Pokemon Crystal or something like that potentially. But yeah, problem with the content in Skyrim is all the content is copy and pasted and exact same at 85% of the dungeons. Oh, I have 10 hours in Skyrim. That's it. I played a little bit of it on the Switch when it came out. I don't think that you'd even be able to see it here, like, anymore, because it's too far down. But, I mean, I could show it here. This was before I became a content creator. I became a content creator at, like, the beginning of 2018. Was the case, and the Switch came out at the beginning of 2017. So yeah, there it is. The Elder Scrolls 5 Skyrim. So I have like 10 hours in this game from when it came out in like November of that year or something like that. These are all my games here. In case anyone's curious, I have a decent bit in my library. But yeah. So I was into it for about like 10 hours there, and then I don't know, there was other games that came out. I think Xenoblade 2 came out late that year, and I got really into Xenoblade 2. And then I just never really felt the urge to come back to Skyrim. I was trying to do like a magic build and stuff, but yeah, there was that. Kind of want to get into the AC series though, but I don't know a lot about what games are good. Black Flag. I was talking about it during Skull and Bones, where it's like, if you want to play Skull and Bones, but just better, play Black Flag. Black Flag is so good. And if you own a Switch, there's the bundle where this thingamabob here, and this is oftentimes going on sale. This is Assassin's Creed 4 and Rogue, which Rogue uses the same engine and is kind of the successor there. These are both the piratey ones. And I think the normal price for this here in Canada is $50, when this was $65. So like $15 cheaper than this. And I think I got this on sale physically for $30. And I'll put it on sale digitally for like $20 sometimes as well. Black Flag is my personal favorite one. I've been doing a playthrough of Odyssey recently, as the current Assassin's Creed game, as we're going through them in order. And I've been really liking Odyssey. So 4 is my favorite, and like, I'm not through Odyssey yet. I haven't beaten it yet, but I'm starting to feel like Odyssey might be like my second favorite. It has a decent chance of that. I'll have to beat it to know for sure if it is, but I might just say that Black Flag is my favorite, and then Odyssey my second favorite. It's got a serious chance. And then the third favorite might honestly be like Brotherhood or something. Brotherhood was pretty good. What am I? Hold on. Yoink. Hold on. Hold on. This is a game that is a little bit difficult to to be chatting at the same time as playing. Oh, I can get damage that way as well. As I'm like trying to, it's not like they're difficult puzzles, but it does require brain engagement. It's not a game I can as easily play on autopilot here. And it also becomes really hard to read things, so I'm finding myself just pausing a lot of the time, the game, and catching up on things. Hold on, let me beat this level. Hold on. Get to the red. Do that. And then, okay, this way. Pick up the thing. Pick up the thing. There we go. Through the door there. With Skyrim, we get bored very quickly generally, as all the content feels so samey and not even the environment changes. Yeah, I don't remember if that's what I was feeling at the end of 2017, maybe, but I just didn't have interest in continuing to play. Was the case. Yeah, what? Yeah, I can't, like, crawl, walk, or anything. Well, I probably have to jump across that other platform there. I see the same 3 or 4 different enemy types constantly in every dungeon. That's fair enough there. Disagree yourself, but your RPG addicts or copy-pasted content doesn't bother you. Also fair enough. But yeah, let's see here. Oblivion is one of your favorite RPGs, and it's not because of the dungeon delving. I'd say Oblivion is also one of my favorite RPGs, when I've literally never played it before, but because of the Radiant AI and how fascinating I find it with how weird it is. Like, what a trip that was. I have that whole video essay on AI in games that delved into it as like a whole use case. Like, so I've never played Oblivion in my life, but I love Oblivion because I think it's so fascinating. It's really cool. It's so silly. I love Oblivion. But yeah, how's AC Rogue ship fight compared to Black Flag? Just the same, but instead of for your backwards attack, instead of throwing explodey barrels out the back, you instead drop oil and light the water on fire. Instead of a chain shot out front, I believe it changes to fiery cannonballs out front. And the thingamabob where it's like in Assassin's Creed Black Flag, when you fire your cannons and hit an opposing ship's hull, there would sometimes be these weak points that come up, and you would have to hold this button to use these puckle guns that would target the weak point, and they just automatically target them. Like, you hold the button, it targets, you release it. Whereas in Rogue, there was a new gun. Maybe that was the one that had the puckle gun. I don't remember which one is which. And that's one where you actually have to aim at the weak points. It's like a rapid fire kind of thing where it goes bang, 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 like that rate, and you have to aim it as it's shooting at the weak points. And that's a little bit more engaging than the holding it kind of thing of Black Flag. So it's literally just Black Flag copy-pasted. The front and back attacks are very slightly changed for variety, and the weak point targeting thing is like a lot more fun. Like, that was majorly changed. It's almost the exact same. Oh, and you get like the ram from the get-go. There's a ram button in Black Flag, but you only get it after you defeat all 4 legendary ships around the world, the hardest ship battles of the game. And so you beat those 4 ships, and then the game tells you, when you're aiming out at the front, you can now press A to increase your speed and ram. So you get your final ship attack mechanic after you've already defeated all the hardest ships in the world. And it's like, what's the point? In Rogue, I'm fairly certain it gives it to you earlier, so you can actually use that gameplay mechanic at a time that it matters. So yeah, Rogue is just 4 gameplay-wise, but better. But it's still best to play like 4 first, and then play, oh, cool. And then, because it's not like so game-changing that it's like, you gotta just play Rogue. Like 4 has more content overall. Rogue is a little bit of a smaller game, but it's still fun. I'd say like the best way to play is by playing AC, oh, I guess I could have gotten that one up, but not anymore. The best way to play is by playing AC4, and then if you like it, then play Rogue, is the case. Because if you like AC4, then you'll like Rogue, is how it goes. That's the way that I see that there. But yeah, always see some craziness when playing that game, Oblivion there. Also helps that the soundtrack is S tier. I don't know if I know any of the Oblivion soundtrack. I don't think here. One of my favorite bits in Oblivion is the lady flipping a line that says, wait, let me do that one again. And I have seen that one. And there's been a couple mistakes left in the Oblivion script there. Where, yeah, one of the lines is the character saying, like, oh, I was saying this one thing, or Bob, wait, let me take that again. And then they say it, and it was left in the game. It's really funny. Gotta love Oblivion. Such a goofy, weird game. But yeah, what's the best AC for a newcomer? The only AC who plays the Chronicles trilogy. Weird. I didn't like the Chronicles trilogy very much. I would still say 4. There was like a story, there was a modern day story going on in Assassin's Creed for a while. I mean, I guess there still technically is. I don't know what the heck they're doing in it anymore. And like all the way up to AC3 was the story of Desmond. And then like, oh, there was a present over there that my camera blocks. I got lost playing in autopilot here and I forgot about it. Whoops. Yeah, I would still say 4 is the case. My first one was 3, and then I played 4. Like, you can go in story order for like the modern day story, even though the individual stories are their own individual stories. The modern day story is like an overarching thing. But the modern day story that they were building all the way up until like Syndicate, which was like the 9th or 10th game, they were just like, you know, we're just gonna abandon that and resolve it in like some random comic book or graphic novel or whatever the heck that we're gonna make on the side, to resolve it in like the laziest way imaginable. So there are modern day elements to AC4 and like all this overarching lore and stuff that I would honestly say is honestly just worth ignoring. Just play AC4 and enjoy being a pirate instead of playing Skull and Bones or other ACs. Oh, I can like charge this up. Whoa. It's crazy, man. Yeah, I would still say AC4 would be the case. AC4 does use the same engine as 3, so starting with 3 is an option. I had fun with 3 for the most part. Whoops. I was a little bit confused about what the game wanted me to do at points, and there are definitely some parts of the game that are immensely frustrating in 3. The first thing that comes to mind being the Charles Lee chase in this flaming ship. It's, not a great level. It's fun when you know the route and what you have to do, but if you don't, it's just the most frustrating thing ever. But yeah, I still say AC4. Unless you just really like traditional kind of RPGs with like leveling up and skills and stuff like that, in which case you could play like Origins or Odyssey, because that has those kinds of RPG elements where it's like you're gaining experience as you go on and gain different skills and all that the older titles didn't have. Yeah, I'd honestly say AC4. Ignore the modern day part of the storyline. And how the heck do I? What? What? Wait, am I missing something here? Because I can't climb with this key. Am I dumb? Okay, I can't throw it across there. Man, this Hawaii part of this game is gonna be interesting since you live there. I know the culture is some context. Wait, there's a Hawaii section in your video game? You're constantly about people stop playing Skyrim after only 10 hours. Just like me, because that's about the exact amount of hours I have. Izzy Chronicles China was alright, India was too gimmicky, Russia was fun speedrunning. Yeah, I think India was probably my least favorite. I played that one for the channel while I was in Italy, interestingly enough. That's a full playthrough that I have done while I was on the other side of the planet. Plot-wise, India has the best plot. Tried ghost rank all of them outside some BS level with bad enemy placement. Yeah, I think my favorite was probably China, then Russia, then India. Oh, I need to drop you down while you're on the red. You're not gonna kill me here, right? Hold on. No! Dang it! But yeah. I would say play AC4. I love me some AC4. And I'm really liking Odyssey so far. AC1 and 2 worth playing. AC1 you very much have to put into the context of the times. Its controls are very odd at points, especially with like the combat, and it took me a while to learn when I first played it. Once you understand how it works, it's actually really easy, but starting out, it's like really weird and it feels very of the times. I personally think that's worth playing just to see like, wow, this was an influential game for 2007 and I see why. I think that's interesting to play from that perspective, but I don't know about much else there. AC2 I think is pretty good. I quite like that one. I honestly think that Assassin's Creed 2 is another one that isn't exactly aged super well compared to modern standards. The characters kind of look a little bit freaky still. I think Brotherhood, the one after 2, is the one that is where the characters actually started looking good. In AC1 and AC2, the characters look kind of jarring at times. Like, Brotherhood is where they start looking good. The gameplay in 2 is a lot better. It's still not, like, perfect. It's not great for modern standards, maybe. But it's actually pretty decent. I had quite a lot of fun with it. It has a lot of interesting things going for it. And I honestly feel like Assassin's Creed 2 is probably, like, one of the greatest sequels in gaming history. Like, it's up there with, like, some of the all-time best sequels, like Terminator 2 is what I think of when I think of AC2. Because AC1 was just kind of like, here's the idea and the world and what we can build off of. And then AC2 is like, let's go ham with that. Let's do so much cool stuff now and have a lot of cool stuff going on. But yeah, the story's not that good in AC1. It's just like, here's Altair, your assassin who like disgraced himself by not following up to the assassin stuff. So now he's been stripped of his rank, which is how you lose like all your abilities, and you're gonna slowly get them back and reclaim your place in the assassins by going and killing like 8 guys. And then like 95% of the game is going and killing these like 8 guys in their own little subsections of the world. That's the story of AC1. If we're not counting the modern day story, that doesn't even matter much anymore. Whereas Ezio is an actual character that you care about, rather than just like generic Altair here, that's your generic assassin that's doing missions that he's told to do. Interestingly enough, Altair actually gets like more character development later in like Revelations and stuff, Ezio's final game. But in his own game, he's not really a character that you care about. I don't know what I'm supposed to do here, straight up. I actually have no idea. Like, it's not like I can activate blue here and have a platform appear here again. I am genuinely confused. I'm Googling this. Well, where's my mouse cursor? Am I gonna feel dumb? I've really gotten stumped this early into this children's game. Mario versus Donkey Kong. It's probably fine if it shows me the Game Boy Advanced one. Level 2-6. Let's see it here. What happens? Oh, here's one that is in the modern version. I think on the thumbnail it showed lifting up the rhino dude. Oh yeah, where it's like, do I need to stand on top? Yeah, that's a type of enemy that I can lift. Okay. Okay, I gotcha. Just kind of forgot that was a thing that I could do there. Okay, I gotcha. I gotcha now. But yeah, AC2, Ezio's a character that you actually care about, and he gets some really cool things. In AC1, you had like your sword, hidden blade, and throwing knives, I think it was. He was gonna have a crossbow, but then they took it out because of historical accuracy. And then the immediate next game, they just gave Ezio a gun, and it's actually really cool. The hidden gun. Oh, I go faster if I do that. So cool. Yeah, the Ezio trilogy is really good. I own the actual trilogy collection on my, on Xbox 360 and on the Switch. I actually bought that in Italy. I bought 2 games while I was in Italy. I bought my copy of Mario plus Rabbids Sparks of Hope there. So I have an Italian copy of this. And then, yeah, here it is. The Ezio collection. It's on the Switch now. I kind of forgot about that. I got that in Italy because he's the Italian assassin. And I saw that it was being sold at the GameStop in Sorrento where I was staying. So I was like, oh man, I gotta get the game about the Italian assassin while I'm in Italy. So now I have the Ezio collection on my Switch. I've only played like a smidge of it because I've already covered the Ezio games on this channel, but I just kind of like having the option to have it on the go if I ever want it like that in the future. And I think that it's kind of cool that I got it from Italy. And also, a slightly unrelated thing about Assassin's Creed, but I found a few designs online. I'm settling on this one that I'm starting to print. There have been designs that people have uploaded online for 3D printed like hidden blades. Is the case. I've only printed the casing for this design thus far, so there's like these pieces that slot together. So I'm gonna have to like print all the all the blade pieces and then all the gears and knobs and stuff like that that are gonna go inside on the rails here, and then get like some string that can come out that I can attach to a 3D printed ring and pull on. But the idea is that like you get Velcro to go through these little straps on the side, strap it to your wrist like that, and whenever you pull, their blade comes out, then you pull again and the blade retracts back in. And I think that that's really cool, and I'm really looking forward to see how this 3D print comes together, because the hidden blade from Assassin's Creed has to be like one of the coolest video game weapons of all time. Let's face it. It's really neato. Anyway, what the heck am I doing here? No, I can't go up very fast there. Yeah, I had to ship it from England. A little ways there. Is there any downside to dying? One of the best moments you play in AC Russia is when you have to loot a key item on a walking guard on time limit. You can just cheese that by throwing a smoke bomb, loot, hide again, 1 in succession. I have to do this again. I don't think I did that. It's been a while since I played Russia. The only thing that is clear in my mind about AC Russia is the final boss and how crazy it was compared to the last 2 Chronicles games. Where they, I'll just wait for you to come back around, that's fine. I guess the downside is just I have to start the full level from the beginning, including this section. But yeah, let's see here. Torna isn't even that old either. You got it a year after release, like as a standalone thingamabob, because I know that those were in limited supply. The physical version of Xenoblade 2 Torna. I own it. I have that because I'm a super crazy Xenoblade nerd. But speaking of, another 3D printing design that I've seen online is like full-scale Monados that print in several different pieces so that you can actually print it on a printer. So you don't need to have like, you know, the biggest 3D printer ever to print it all at once. And I've been thinking about trying to print it. I'll probably do like, in terms of multi-part prints where you have to print a whole bunch of different things and assemble it, I think I'll work on my hidden blade for now. Well, first of all, I've been working on these Pokeball designs lately that I found online, where it's like you print all these different pieces here and then slot them together. I had to order these hinges off of Amazon to shove into here, but like you put these pieces together, glue them together, and you have this actual really cool kind of Pokeball design. So that's another one I've been playing with lately. But one day I might try to 3D print a Monado because I think that's pretty cool. Oh, I go down super slowly like that. I gotcha. Okay, give me that. Did I miss a present somewhere? Oh, I thought that was a spring. Oh, it's here. I don't know how I got that. No! Ah! I go so slowly. But yeah, it's what you ship from England. Oh, gotcha, gotcha. Torna's pretty fun. It's a little bit much of a grind with the, wait. it's a lot of a grind with how it basically requires you to do like 90% of the side quests in the world if you want to beat it. But apart from that, it's pretty good and fun. Huh. Wait, so... But now how do I get the blue? Do I go all the way up again? I'm getting the blue. Haven't gotten to playing it yet. Is good, but is grindy. Oh, I could even just go in this way. Here, so there's the blue. Whee, I'll make this. There we go. Down. Okay. And now, I thought it was a spring again. I hit jump right as I hit that. Alright, yoink. And then... Wow, these fireballs just go on and on, don't they? Okay, and then really quickly go this way. I appreciate the follow there. I'm not even gonna try to pronounce that, as I'm gonna butcher the heck out of it. I'm sorry. Also had to make an England Nintendo account to plug the code in for the original Xenoblade 2. Oh, jeez. But yeah, it's Moontengi. But yeah, nice. I appreciate the follow then, Moontengi. Welcome on into this set of shenanigans here. Also, speaking of codes for things, because I got Mario plus Rabbids Sparks of Hope while I was in Italy, I got like the gold edition, so I have a download code for the season pass of Mario plus Rabbids Sparks of Hope, but it's a European version, and though I can use the cartridge on my NA Switch, I couldn't use the DLC code. It wouldn't let me, so I had to buy the DLC separately. But I still have like a fully functioning code. I believe I was gonna give it to Nishara, but Nishara said like, you know, give it someone that can use it more if you find someone that that might like it and make their day. But I never actually found someone, and I think times that I follow up with Nishara, he was just like, it's not too important, or you could still find somebody there. Maybe you could say that I guess maybe I still own Nishara code there. It's just sitting around doing nothing. At this point, if you wanted the DLC, you probably would have already bought it. But if anyone is in, like, Europe and plays Mario plus Rabbids Sparks of Hope and wants a code for, like, the season pass, let me know and I'll give it to you. So, yeah. Got rank 9 again for this Clank Lady and didn't accidentally get the romance segment this time. Nice. But yeah, I have to make Italy account for the DLC. Does it specifically have to be Italy? It can't just be, like, EU. You can redeem it without living in Italy? Huh. Well, too late, because I already own the, I already own the thingamabob that I bought separately. So, yeah, I guess offer still stands if anyone wants to make an Italian account and do that and would like the season pass for Mario plus Rabbids Sparks of Hope. I would only ask for, like, proof of, just take, like, a screenshot or, like, a picture of, like, your Switch tiles and show that you own Sparks of Hope. Like, just because I wouldn't want someone to be like, I want it, and then they just, like, go to resell it or something like that. I want to give it to someone that's actually going to use it. Play it. That's all I ask there. Yeah, I played the base game for Sparks of Hope and got 93% completion. Fun game to play again, 10 out of 10. Nice. You want a code for the DLC if you want to make an Italian account? But yeah, don't remember if I have Sparks of Hope yet. It's a fun game. I would recommend it. If you want a code, let me know. Here, let's do this. All right. Time to get these minis and stuff. There's the chest. I'm gonna load them all up in. We can't have anyone stealing these toys. We need to sell them. Capitalism, hell yeah. I guess I'm going this way. But yeah, I don't know much about it, but you promise you'll get to it eventually. It is a good game there. And I mean, with Sparks of Hope, that's basically like the cheapest that you'll find that in Kingdom Battle. Basically like the cheapest you'll ever really find a Mario game. Because Nintendo, while they sometimes put their games on sale, it's like barely. Whereas Ubisoft, they love marking down their games for insane amounts. Like, I've seen Sparks of Hope get really cheap because it counts as a Ubisoft game first and foremost before a Nintendo game. Like, Ubisoft is the one with the publishing rights there. So, yeah, Sparks of Hope, when it's on sale, is the cheapest you'll ever see a modern Mario game. Like, other modern Mario games, they'll be like, oh, like maybe 20% off, maybe 30% off. Sparks of Hope, they'll do like at least 50% off, if not more. Especially like digitally. Is typically how it goes. So, yeah. Can I just... Dang it. Because if I can get one of them to jump up there. Hold on. Hold on. There we go. There, like that. But yeah, now you're good. You're good on not playing it for the moment since Persona 5 Royal got you hooked. That's fair enough. Got yours physically for $35. That's all you got in the first place. Nice. So yeah, Mario. They can take the spring. So yeah, you can find Sparks of Hope for not half bad prices a lot of the time, if you just have enough patience to wait for a sale. Because Ubisoft loves marking down their games, unlike Nintendo. So I'd say definitely keep an eye out for if there's any good prices around. Because they do, they happen from time to time. There we go. Into the box you go. Get in there. But yeah, think you have Sparks of Hope lying around? Gotcha. All right. Look at all these minis, not certain. Well, is a good game. If you have it around, would highly recommend. That's how I feel about it, at least. It's a shame that, you know, I've never really been that big a fan of the Game Awards or anything like that. But part of me was still a little bit salty that Sparks of Hope wasn't there for, like, a nominee for soundtrack of the year. It seems like the things that were nominated were the things that were expected to have good soundtracks, and not the things where it's like, you might not think it at face value, but if you look into it, it's actually really amazing. Like, with Sparks of Hope, they went ham on the music. They got not only one legendary composer, they got 3, was the case. In Mario Plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle, they got Grant Kirkhope, whose most famous work is in Banjo and Kazooie. And it is an absolutely legendary composer. What the heck are you doing, man? You absolute weirdo. And then for Sparks of Hope, they brought back Grant Kirkhope, but they also brought Yoko Shimomura, who is responsible for soundtracks like the Mario and Luigi games, responsible for, I believe she was the one for Kingdom Hearts as well. They got her on. And they also got, what's his name? Gareth Coker, I believe, who is the one responsible for soundtracks like Ori and the Blind Forest. So, like, they literally brought on 3 legendary composers. And if you go onto Ubisoft's music channel and check out the soundtrack for that game, under each of the themes, it says which of the 3 composers was responsible for that theme. And it's really cool, actually. And, like, all their styles are a bit different. They all, like, they're all different composers. They have different styles and different ways of going about it. But they're all so good. My only complaint is the final boss theme isn't very good. It's very meh. But everything else, man, that is one heck of a slapping soundtrack. And they went hard for this Mario Plus Rabbids spin-off. Like, bringing, those 3 composers onto a Mario Plus Rabbids crossover game. Like, I don't know what they were smoking at Ubisoft, but I'm so glad they were. I love the Sparks of Hope soundtrack so much. So good.